Greetings, and welcome to a world where greenery reigns supreme, the world of indoor plants. Picture this, a leafy paradise right in your living room, an oasis of serenity amidst your daily hustle. Indoor plants not only bring a splash of color and a breath of fresh air into your home, but they also have a unique way of transforming any indoor space into a vibrant, lively sanctuary. Imagine the aesthetic appeal of a fiddle leaf fig gracing a corner, or the delightful charm of succulents adorning your windowsill. But the beauty of indoor plants isn't just skin deep. Their therapeutic value is undeniable. They purify your air, boost your mood, reduce stress, and even increase productivity. Indeed, indoor plants are a wonderful testament to the magic of Mother Nature right in your own home. So, ready to explore this green world? Let's delve deeper. Choosing the right indoor plant can be a game changer. But how do you make the right choice? It's not just about selecting a plant that catches your eye, but one that's suitable for your specific environment and lifestyle. Let's start with the light factor. Plants, like humans, need light to thrive. Some crave abundant sunshine, while others are content with lower light levels. A sun-loving plant in a dim corner will struggle, just as a shade-tolerant plant might wilt in direct sunlight. So before you go plant shopping, observe the light patterns in your space. Next, consider the space available. Some plants, like the fiddle leaf fig, can grow quite tall, while others, like the snake plant, are more compact. Make sure you have ample room for your plant to grow without it feeling cramped or overshadowed. Personal preferences play a significant role too. Are you drawn to the lush tropical feel of a Monstera deliciosa, or do you prefer the minimalist aesthetic of an aloe vera? Just remember, each plant comes with its own care requirements, so choose one that aligns with your commitment level. Now let's talk about some beginner-friendly indoor plants. The pothos, with its heart-shaped leaves and trailing vines, is a forgiving plant that can withstand a bit of neglect. The ZZ plant is another easy-to-care-for option, known for its glossy foliage and drought tolerance. If you're after something a little more exotic, the spider plant with its arching leaves and baby plantlets might be just the ticket. Choosing the right plant is not a one-size-fits-all scenario. It's an exciting journey of learning about different plant species, their needs, and how they can best fit into your life and living space. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes along the way. Even the most seasoned plant parents have had their share of plant casualties. So whether you're a seasoned green thumb or a budding plant enthusiast, embrace the process, learn from your experiences, and most importantly, have fun with it. Remember, the right plant can transform your space and boost your mood. Now that you've picked your green companion, let's talk about basic care. Indoor plants, like their outdoor cousins, need sunlight, water, and nutrients to grow. They also require the right environment, which includes proper humidity and temperature. Sunlight is the powerhouse for plants. It fuels photosynthesis, a process that allows plants to manufacture their own food. While different plants have varying sunlight requirements, most indoor plants do well in bright but indirect light. A spot near a north or east-facing window is usually a good choice. But remember, no two plants are alike. Make sure to research your plant's specific light needs. Water is another crucial element. However, it's not about watering your plants excessively, but watering them just right. Too little and the plant will wilt. Too much and you risk root rot. A good rule of thumb is to water when the top inch of soil is dry. But again, this can vary based on the type of plant and its environment. Humidity plays a pivotal role too. Many popular indoor plants hail from tropical regions and thrive in humid conditions. Consider grouping plants together or using a pebble tray filled with water to increase humidity. Some plants may even appreciate a gentle misting. Talking about temperature, most indoor plants prefer a consistent temperature. Avoid placing them near drafty windows or vents where they could experience sudden temperature changes. Typical room temperature, around 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, works best for most indoor plants. Now let's move on to the pot and soil. The pot should have adequate drainage to prevent waterlogged soil. As for the soil, it needs to be well-draining yet capable of retaining enough moisture. A standard potting mix usually does the job. However, some plants might need a more specialized blend. Remember, each plant is unique. What works for one might not work for another. It's all about understanding your plant's needs and providing the best care you can. Proper care ensures your plants thrive and continue to beautify your space. Watering and fertilizing your plants isn't rocket science, but it does require some know-how. When it comes to watering, most indoor plants prefer a consistent schedule. This could be once a week, or even once every 2 weeks, depending on the plant's specific needs in your home environment. A good rule of thumb is to check the soil. If the top inch is dry, it's time to water. Now let's talk about feeding your green friends. Balanced fertilization is key to keeping your plants healthy and vibrant. Look for a fertilizer that contains a mix of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, the essential nutrients for plant growth. Products like slow-release granules or liquid fertilizers are great options. Just remember, more isn't always better when it comes to watering and fertilizing. Overdoing it can lead to root damage and other issues. So, when in doubt, remember, less is more. Just like us, plants can fall prey to pests and diseases. Let's learn how to keep them at bay. Indoor plants, despite their hardy nature, can sometimes become home to pesky pests and diseases. Don't panic. It's a common part of plant parenthood, and there's always a solution. Let's start with the common culprits. Spider mites, tiny critters that can cause yellowing or speckling on your plant leaves, are a common issue. Aphids, small insects that suck sap from plants, can also cause harm. And then there are diseases like root rot, caused by overwatering, and powdery mildew, a fungal disease that appears as a white powdery coating. So how do we prevent these pests and diseases? Firstly, quarantine any new plants for a couple of weeks before introducing them to your plant family. This helps to prevent any pests or diseases they may carry from spreading. Also, regular inspection of your plants can help catch any issues early. Look for changes in leaf color, texture, or growth. Now, if you've discovered pests or diseases, don't despair. There are many natural remedies available. For pests like spider mites and aphids, you can use a simple mixture of water and mild dish soap. Spray it on the affected areas and wipe down with a soft cloth. For fungal diseases like powdery mildew, a mixture of water and baking soda works well. And for root rot, the key is to catch it early, cut away the affected areas, and let the plant dry out before watering again. Remember, prevention is always better than cure, so ensure your plants receive the right amount of light, water, and nutrients, as a healthy plant is less likely to succumb to pests and diseases. With the right knowledge and attention, you can keep your plants healthy and happy. Whether you're dealing with a minor pest problem or a major disease outbreak, don't worry. With a keen eye and a bit of plant know-how, you'll be well equipped to keep your leafy friends in the best of health. Taking care of indoor plants goes beyond watering and fertilizing. Let's explore further. Pruning, for instance, is a vital practice for plant health. It involves removing dead or yellowing leaves to allow new growth. Use sharp, clean scissors to avoid causing any damage. Next, we have repotting. Over time, your plant may outgrow its pot. When roots start peeking out of the drainage holes, it's time to give your green friend a new home. Choose a pot that's slightly larger than the current one, and remember, good drainage is key. Now, let's talk about propagation. This is a great way to multiply your indoor garden without spending a dime. For many plants, it's as simple as placing a stem cutting in water and waiting for roots to grow. Engaging with your plants regularly can be therapeutic, and it helps you stay attuned to their needs. Remember, plants are living beings. They thrive with a little attention and care. A well-maintained plant is a happy plant, and a happy plant makes for a happy home. Plants are not just about greenery, they can be a creative expression too. Isn't it exciting when your indoor garden reflects your personality? Start by considering the color scheme. Complementing your decor with the colors of your plants and pots can bring harmony to your living space. Next, think about the layout. You can create a mini jungle with a cluster of different plants, or keep it minimalistic with just one or two statement pieces. Don't forget about the vertical space. Hanging plants or placing them on shelves can add a whole new dimension. Now let's talk about containers. Anything can be a plant pot if it holds soil and has drainage. From mason jars to vintage teapots, get creative. And finally, remember that placement isn't permanent. Feel free to experiment and switch things around until you're happy. Don't be afraid to get creative and make your space uniquely yours. Encountering challenges with your plants? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Let's address some common issues that beginners often encounter. One of the most frequent questions is, why are my plants' leaves turning yellow? This can be due to several reasons, including overwatering, insufficient light, or a lack of nutrients. If you're overwatering, try reducing the frequency. If it's a light issue, consider moving your plant to a brighter location. For nutrient deficiencies, consider using a balanced fertilizer. Next up, why is my plant not growing? It's essential to remember that plants have different growth rates. Some may take a while to show noticeable growth. However, if your plant hasn't grown in months, it could be due to inadequate light, or it might need a bigger pot. Repotting can often give your plant the boost it needs. A common challenge is, my plant has pests. Pests can be a nuisance, but they are manageable. Regularly check your plants for signs of pests. If you spot any, isolate the affected plant immediately to prevent the pests from spreading. You can use a mild soap solution to clean your plant or consider using a natural insecticide. How often should I water my plant? This is a common query, and the answer varies. Some plants prefer their soil to dry out completely between watering, while others prefer consistently moist soil. As a rule of thumb, always check the top 1 to 2 inches of soil before watering. If it's dry, it's time to water. Lastly, why are my plant's leaves dropping? Leaf drop can be quite alarming, but it's often a natural process, especially during changes in season. However, if it's excessive, it could be due to overwatering, underwatering, or a sudden change in temperature or light. Adjust your care routine accordingly. For further help, there are numerous resources available online. Websites, forums, and even plant identification apps can provide valuable insights. Remember, every plant enthusiast learns through experience. Keep learning, keep growing. We've explored the lush world of indoor plants together. Now let's recap. We started our journey by understanding the sheer beauty and therapeutic benefits of indoor greenery. We then delved into the process of selecting the right plants, considering factors like light, space, and personal taste. We discussed the essential care elements: sunlight, water, humidity, and temperature, and gave you guidelines on pots and soil selection. We also offered a watering schedule, fertilizer recommendations, and gave you a heads up about common pests and diseases. We talked about trimming, repotting, propagating your plants, and even gave you some creative display ideas. Lastly, we addressed common challenges and questions you might encounter on your plant care journey. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow plant enthusiasts. Thank you for joining us on this green journey. Until next time, keep growing.